Living on $500 a month in Indonesia, is it really possible? Did you watch my previous video where I revealed all the monthly bills I pay to survive on $1,500 each month? You might have been discouraged if you have less to live on than that. So I decided to take another look to see how little someone would need to live comfortably if they didn't have all my bills. In that video, I mentioned that your monthly budget would probably be far less than mine for several reasons. For example, you probably wouldn't be buying imported dog food for your spoiled pooches. So let's cut to the chase. Living on just $500 a month sounds pretty wild, doesn't it? In many parts of the world, that wouldn't even cover a small portion of what a person needs each month for rent, groceries, transport, and everything else. But here's the surprise. If you're considering living in Indonesia, a tight budget like that is actually possible. Before we get carried away, though, let's be real. $500 a month isn't going to get you a beachfront villa with a swimming pool. But if you're willing to live modestly, Indonesia just might be one of the few places where a budget of $500 a month can stretch far enough for a comfortable life. Hi, I'm Kate. I'm a retired American, and when I wanted to live an adventurous life, but inexpensive, I took the plunge and now make videos about both the challenges and the joys of living as a retiree in Indonesia. Welcome to my YouTube channel, KateGypsy. According to livingcost.org, Yogyakarta on the island of Java, and where I live, is in the 4% of the least expensive cities in the world. That means that your rent and overall expenses in Jogja are far less than in the capital, Jakarta, and less than in Bali, which is where a lot of Westerners go. Why should you consider Indonesia? Well, there's a reason more and more expats and retirees are turning their eyes toward Indonesia. With its incredibly diverse culture, warm and friendly people, and affordable cost of living, it offers a lifestyle that's hard to beat, especially when you're trying to live on a fixed income. And let's forget, Indonesia is not just Bali. While Bali gets most of the attention, and yes, it is gorgeous, there are thousands of islands to explore and many cities, towns, and villages that are welcoming, budget-friendly, and packed with charm. From Yogyakarta, the cultural heart of Indonesia, to the laid-back beach towns in Lombok, or the small communities scattered throughout the islands, there are plenty of places where your dollar can go a long way. So, can you really live on $500 a month? The short answer is yes, you can. But the longer, more realistic answer is whether you can manage on $500 a month depends on where in Indonesia you choose to live, how you choose to live, and what comforts you just have to have. If you're expecting Western-level comforts like constant air conditioning, imported groceries, and so on, $500 won't cut it. But if you're open to living simply, eating local food, living in simple housing, using local transportation, you'll be amazed just how far your budget can stretch. Let's break down a realistic monthly budget based on someone living modestly in a non-touristy area of Indonesia for, well, hopefully $500 a month. Housing can be just $100 to $150 a month. In many smaller towns or rural areas, you can rent a simple house or a room in a boarding house for as little as $100 a month. In Yogyakarta in particular, there are lots of very nice boarding houses here because of all the students who come to attend the many universities. The range of cost in a boarding house varies a lot depending on what facilities you want. I'll leave a link below this video for a website that lists many of these boarding houses. My own house in the countryside outside of Jogja cost me the equivalent of about $100 a month, and it's not a shoebox. It needed a lot of work, yeah, but it's spacious, quiet, and suits my needs perfectly. In larger cities like Jakarta or tourist-heavy areas of Bali, rent will be substantially higher. But in places like Malang, Solo, or Yogyakarta, housing is still incredibly affordable. Food can be as low as $100 to $125 a month. Eating local is not only delicious, it's very budget-friendly. A full meal at a small local restaurant called a warung might cost a couple of dollars. Today, I asked a friend how much he spends on a meal of rice, egg, and vegetables at a warung. He said 85 cents. And he gave similar prices for other dishes that I asked about. Local markets are also a treasure trove for budget-conscious folks. My housekeeper spends a little more than $300 a month on groceries, fresh fruits, vegetables, eggs, rice, chicken, tempeh. But that's for 7 people. You won't be feeding that many. But imported goods, like a small block of cheese or a bottle of wine, that will gobble up your budget fast. So if you're sticking to a $500 budget, stick with delicious Indonesian cuisine. Your taste buds and your wallet will thank you. Transportation can be $20 to $40 a month, depending. Many people in Indonesia get around by motorbike. You can rent one for around $40 a month, or buy a second-hand one if you're planning to stay long-term. Fuel? A full motorbike tank will cost you a few dollars. If you don't want to drive yourself on a motorbike, public buses and ride shares like Uber are affordable alternatives. Phone and internet will run around $5 to $15 a month. SIM cards are cheap and data plans are generous. For around $10 a month, you'll get more than enough data for browsing, video calling, and even streaming. Wi-Fi is sometimes included in rental homes and boarding houses, but if not, you can easily include it for about $10 to $15 a month. Essentials and toiletries will be around $10 to $20 a month. Soap, toothpaste, laundry detergent, toilet paper, and so on. Basic items are all reasonably priced here in Indonesia. I'll put entertainment and extras at around $25 to $50 a month. On a tight budget, you won't be hitting up beach clubs every weekend, but you can go out for a coffee, catch a local movie, or meet friends for lunch at a cafe. And there are plenty of low-cost ways to enjoy yourself. A massage at a local place, around $6 to $10 an hour. A museum visit, around $2. So if you've been adding these items up, you can see they don't add up to $500. But I'm sure there are things I've forgotten. So you still have money left over if you're budgeting for $500. And let's be honest, it's not all sunshine and smiles. Living on $500 a month in Indonesia does come with trade-offs. You won't have air conditioning. Bureaucracy here can be frustrating, and if you want to travel often, $500 isn't going to stretch that far. You'll also need to plan ahead for visa costs, which can cost several $100s a year, depending on the type of visa. But if your health is good, you're relatively low maintenance, and you're here for the experience more than the luxury, you'll be just fine. But don't believe videos that say you can live like a king or queen on $500 a month anywhere in Southeast Asia. That's just not true. To make it work, choose your location carefully, avoid the main cities and tourist centers. Don't think $500 will be enough for life in Jakarta or Bali. Instead, go to smaller cities. The prices I mentioned in this video will work in Malang or Yogyakarta or other small but vibrant cities. As I've said, don't expect a luxury lifestyle, but it is a simple, rewarding way to live. If you want to stretch your budget without sacrificing quality of life, Indonesia might just be the answer you've been searching for. Please leave a comment below this video to let me know if this sounds appealing to you. And thanks for watching. Bye for now. Till next time.